Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk some Legion and specifically creatures because creatures are coming to Legion and they're super, super cool. I got to get some close up and personal looks at some of these guys at Star Wars Celebration. We got Dewbacks and what else we got? We got those Tauntauns coming. Oh, they're so cool, right? Honestly, the sculpts on these are super, super awesome. And I figured, I wanted to speculate a little bit on some other creatures that we could be getting because, the Clone Wars is only a few months out, so we're getting a lot of new cool stuff coming to Star Wars Legion. However, I wonder if we're going to be able to get any creatures with those, and are droids really going to ride some kind of creature, right? So I figured it's time to do a little bit of speculation and kind of come up with some things that maybe we might see for more creatures. Before I jump too far into this, I do want to remind you guys there is a new round of the giveaway going on right now. It's still going on. It's going to run until the end of the month to win. If you're interested in winning the Star Wars Black Series, Maul and Obi-Wan from Celebration, the Celebration exclusives, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. You can let me know what your favorite creature that you want to see in Star Wars Legion is, or you can tell me what your favorite game is, or what your favorite Star Wars movie is, or you can reply to somebody else's comment, get the discussion going, because that's one of the great things about this community is that we can talk to each other, we can disagree, we can have civil discourse, we can share ideas, and maybe even open somebody else up to a new idea they hadn't considered before. And that's one of the things that makes you guys so great, because I've gotten a lot of great feedback from you guys. So, with that being said, let's talk about something that can spark some feedback. What other creatures can we get? So I really love the idea of some of these riders out there for the Republic. I think we saw Obi-Wan on a Varactolus in Episode 3, or a Varactyl, not Varactolus, Varactyl, I believe. After finishing Master and Apprentice, you realize that this wasn't Obi-Wan's first time. With one of these creatures, and so it's like it's kind of cool. You think about like the bond between like a Jedi and their creature, and I think Obi-Wan was like very comfortable on a creature like this. So could you imagine like a mounted Obi-Wan or a mounted Jedi commander on a Varactyl or something similar? Now we'll have a harder time trying to come up with something like that. For the Separatists, but look, they talked about sub-factions too. I've already done a video talking about Gungans, so I don't want to get too far into Gungans, but these guys, these little things that they're riding, these little guys that they're riding, you could have mounted Gungans as well. I could see a Jar Jar that's, on the ground. We would have to have a ground Jar Jar, but I could see a mounted Jar Jar or something like that. Mounted Gungans that make for good supports, right? I mean, that seems like a no-brainer. Now, for Separatists, I did find these Geonosians that are mounted on some type of alligator. It looks like a cross between a crocodile and an alligator. No, but yeah, there's these things. Or, which this is a good transitionary point. Or we could just simply go from mounted units to straight up independent creatures that don't have the trooper. Not instead of like trooper creatures or creature troopers. Just how about straight up creatures, or like crazy creatures, or some new type of subtype that means that this creature is wild and it's on its own, like the Nexu over here. The Nexu, like, first off, dude, they already have Nexu in Imperial Assault, right? They already have a sculpt for it. They just have to increase the definition a little bit, maybe make it a little bit bigger, throw it into this game. Perfect. Nexu's we're already down with Nexu, right? Are you down with the Nexu? This is the new Nexu sign. It's where you kind of go down with the feet and then up with the tail. You go like that. That's not it. I just made that up. But you can do that. If they come out, if you want Nexu, you can just do like this to people. That might mean something else. It might be offensive. It might get you shot. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't do it. Let's just rethink all of the Nexu signs. Let's go into something else. What else might they do, right? An Acklay or a Reek, right? We also saw those. And very appropriate for if Separatists are ever going to get creatures, these would be appropriate because, look, they were on the Battle of Geonosis. They literally fought against the Jedi. So, absolutely, this would work for Separatist creatures. They're not all droids. Perfect ideas here. But we've got other options as well. Now, the Republic, I don't think they have as many. But, I mean, the Empire can get some too. Look, like the Empire. Hey. We got Rancors, right? I mean, they're not really working for the Empire, and maybe the picture I chose for this was not the best example, because, okay, Rancors are crushing Imperial stuff. Maybe it's rogue factions of the Empire in the wake of Palpatine's demise that are left fighting each other. That one faction has chosen to go with hire some extra beast wranglers from Star Wars, the Sony game, Star Wars Galaxies. Or I don't know, but no, Rancors would be super cool, especially if they're sentient. I mean, even if they're not Imperial, even if they're just like on the board, roaming around, like they're the condition. The condition is loose Rancor. Boom, you've got your Rancor now. Now we're both fighting the Rancor. Maybe whoever scores the most hits gets victory points. Maybe the more damage you do in one attack, gives you more victory. Anybody who can do more than 4 damage in one attack automatically gets. And he's got rolls red defense dice. So maybe you're incentivized to bring an ATST now because you can get a really, really big attack, right? Maybe maybe there's lots of cool options for a Rancor. Maybe this would be another way to make big a vehicle-based objective and make that really cool. So I was left with one problem when trying to come up with like some creature ideas. Is I'm like, well, I was thinking about doing a crate dragon for the Rebels. And I'm like, I think a crate dragon would be a little too big. And plus it's not really a rebel aligned creature. So what would be a good rebel aligned creature? And then I remembered, hey, they did Sabine, which means maybe they're going to do some other characters from Star Wars Rebels. And what better than Loth Wolves for the Rebels? They're already allied with the good guys. They're allied with Ezra. Ezra actually gave us a lot of potential inclinations for different types of creatures. There were other creatures that he dealt with throughout the entire series, but I think Loth Wolves are going to be the most iconic to be somebody that's good aligned and awesome. And I think almost universally Star Wars fans generally liked Rebels. So I think something like this is just a really great option to bring in to Star Wars Legion. I mean, Loth Wolves would be sick. And, hey, look, a lot of times we see 3 of them. Sometimes where there's more than 3. But it works perfect. You have 3 supports, right? Like one big old Loth Wolf walking around. They can hyperspace. Maybe you can have them teleport. Like they can appear on different parts of the map. You can come up with some kind of mechanic for that. Maybe instead of having them teleport, maybe they just get to... You could give them kind of like a wolf that has like the same... or a very similar mechanic to how like your Pathfinders can deploy anywhere on the map, and Jyn Erso can deploy. Maybe they warp in. Maybe they do the same type of mechanic that like where they come in at the end of turn 1. For your rapid reinforcements type of deployment. Like there's a lot of cool little things you could do with hyperspace traveling Loth Wolves. So that's a really, really cool idea. There are other creatures, like you could do Minox, you could do like Purgils. No, you probably couldn't do Purgils. Purgils are too big. They're grossly too big. But and the thing is, then you bring in Ezra, then you bring in a new Force ability, right? You bring in a new Force ability called animal control or animal bonding or something like that, but not animal bondage. That's totally different. Don't do that one. But animal bonding, right, or animal empathy, or some, or creature affinity. That's a good name for it, right? And you give them some kind of a way to interact with creatures, or maybe they're less likely to be attacked by a wild creature. Or of course, it would totally depend on how creatures work. And maybe Ezra comes with that, and maybe you can also then put that on Obi-Wan to make him ride the Varactolus, like maybe because Ezra was able to ride a Loth Wolf. Maybe if you want to ride a creature that can't be ridden, boom, very cool stuff. Animal affinity. You may treat one creature as though it had like open transport 1. Boom. But only for you. Right? That, like cool little ideas like that I think would be a lot of fun. But I think it's all of this is just an excuse for me to get a Rancor in this game. Because you can't just put a Rancor without giving everybody else something cool too. And my agenda from the very beginning was 2 parts. Part 1 is to get an AT-AT in this game, and part 2 is to get a Rancor in this game. Those are my 2 main goals. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been pretty successful in a lot of my long-term goals, right? I mean, I wanted a Superstar Destroyer in Armada. Oh, we got that. I wanted Clone Wars in Armada. We got that. I wanted Clone Wars in this game. We got that. I wanted Clone Wars in X-Wing. We got that. I mean, it's pretty much everything I've asked for has come true. So, I mean, I know what you're saying, like, Crabbok, you're not responsible for that. Of course not. Or am I? Could there be some force powers at work? Is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Jedi. So, let me know what you think down in the description below. Are any of these, do you agree with any of them? Could any of these work? What is your favorite? You know, like, I would love to be able to recreate the Battle of Geonosis. I think that'd be really, really cool. I also want to recreate the Battle of Naboo. You know, the Varactyl I could probably do without, but it works. It's appropriate. This guy would be awesome. Loth Wolves I think could be really awesome too. Kind of rather do without like Loth Cats or a Convor. I don't really want the small little cutesy creatures. I want the or a Sarlacc. Well, that's terrain though, isn't it? The Sarlacc is just a little bit too much terrain. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can check out Crabbok.com, hop in my Discord, say hi over there. And that's all I got for you. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and have a great day.